Hello, my friend, and welcome to Something for Everybody. My name is Aaron Machbitz, and today is a solo episode of the podcast where I'm discussing teams, specifically 8 things that bring a team together. Now, I relate most of what I talk about to sports, but building great teams is really the cornerstone of every domain in life, whether it's a religious, family, business. Everything is about community, relationships, but it really boils down to the team. And the team may be 1 or 2 people, maybe 100 people, maybe 30 people, but it's about how we can build strong teams, which ultimately means how we build relationships. And we know from Harvard's 85-year study, which I've referenced a zillion times on this podcast, that living the good life comes down to 2 things: great health and great relationships. And being able to bring great teams together through leadership and cooperation and building communities and trust and communication and cooperation is how we really ultimately thrive as a society. So this episode is relevant for everyone, and take what you see and apply it specifically to the teams that you're trying to build in your life, whether that be the team of you and your family, your kids, your community, your religious community, your sports community, your business, whatever it is. We have to build great teams. And here inside this episode will be a few tips, specifically 8 things that bring a team together. And Phil Jackson, a famous NBA basketball coach, said this: good teams become great. Good teams become great ones when the members trust each other enough to surrender the me for the we. It's about us. It's about we. Talent does not create great teams. Great teams come together because they communicate, they connect, they trust each other. Yes, in sports, talent is a part of it, of course. But once you make it to that top level, everyone has the talent. So the teams that really come together, the teams that really win on a consistent basis, have created that culture of connection, of communication, of trust, of extreme ownership. That's really the most important stuff, right? They know that the strength of the team is not just one individual, but everyone together. They're committed, they care, and they work together. That's what we're trying to get to when we build great teams that have great culture and a consistent success rate with those teams. And so let's jump right in. Let's jump right into 8 things that are going to bring a team together. Number 1, vision. Vision. A compelling vision provides direction, alignment, and inspiration. When there is a shared vision, a shared mission, it brings everyone together for one shared purpose. It aligns team members towards common objectives, fosters that sense of purpose, and provides a framework for decision-making and action. You have to have a shared mission in your trajectory of where you want to go as a team. And that has to be very, very well laid out from whoever is leading the charge, the coach, the boss, the CEO, the mom and dad, whatever it is. We have to have a shared and compelling vision so we know what path we're walking on, because our direction, again, is going to be more important than our speed. And this, it comes down to thinking about there's individual parts in a team. If everyone fully engages and takes extreme ownership over their role. We talked about in a previous episode how to be a great teammate. One of the things to be a great teammate is to be able to execute and own your role. So then that feeds into you personally, individually taking extreme ownership and responsibility over your role, executing it to the best of your ability. Then if everyone does that, we're all moving towards that shared vision. And then we get into group flow and team flow, and things start to just happen for us because we're all in alignment with our thoughts and our actions and our movements individually, and collectively we're heading in the right direction. So getting that foundational layer of vision for your team or your business or your family is extremely important. And then everyone has their roles, and then we're trying to execute those roles to the best of our ability with extreme ownership, but we're all moving in the right direction in alignment with our shared vision, which gives us a sense of purpose and provides a framework, again, for our decision making and our action. So then we go to number 2, which is connection. So important. You can't lead and create change without connecting and building relationships. Already mentioned this, going to mention this a bunch of times throughout. People have to know who you are and know that you care for them. Building connections creates a sense of belonging and camaraderie, which enhances cooperation, reduces conflict, and makes the environment more enjoyable and productive. Camaraderie, there it is. That's hilarious. 267 episodes, baby, and we're still figuring out how to speak. Always getting better, always improving. Remember that. No one's too far ahead. We're always getting better. 267, probably 300 episodes of the ones I recorded and didn't record or had to erase or whatever. Over 300 episodes, and we're still learning how to speak. Remember, we're always getting better. If you listen to 4 lessons from 4 years of podcasting, you realize that one of my core lessons, core values, and core virtues is be the best at getting better. I do these to try and get better every single time, and I'm just doing it free, organic, free flowing, not cutting it all, anything, just letting it loose. So again, number 2, we're at connection, right? We want to build that cooperation, reduces conflict, and makes the environment more enjoyable and productive. This is connection. You want to connect with the people you're on your team. This doesn't mean, I think people get confused about this. This doesn't mean that we like everyone that we're on a team with. There's a lot of different people with different personalities and different walks of life and grew up differently and all this sorts of stuff that make people the unique beings they are. Connecting with someone doesn't mean liking them, but it does mean respecting them and seeing their intrinsic value no matter what, and building those connections with people on a sense of common ground. And the common ground can be the shared vision that you have for the team. You both know that you want this team or this business or this family to be successful. So you have this shared vision. You know that you're going to execute your role to the absolute best of your ability, but there are some things that you don't mesh on, don't get along with. You don't really like this person. You don't want to hang out outside of your business endeavor or sports field. That's fine. You can still build a connection that's productive, conducive, and respectful. And it makes the work more enjoyable. So we have to build these connections. Dr. Michael Gervais talks about this all the time when he's speaking about building culture. We have to be relationship first. Relationship first. Once we become relationship first, people have this sense of feeling that they're cared for. I try to do this with my team all the time. I don't do it perfectly, but I try to express how much I believe and care about them while also trying to prepare them, instill these values, and get them ready for the next level of baseball if they so choose to continue down that path. But it's about building connection, understanding that everyone you see, everyone in front of you, everyone you're interacting with has intrinsic value as a real life human being. And we have to respect that and try to build connection on the things that are in common ground. That's why having that shared vision is so important, because we build on that to head in the right direction, because we know at least that one thing we find purpose and we find common ground in, because that's our vision as a unit and we're heading in that direction. 3, so based on connection, you build this. You build 3, which is trust. Trust is earned. Trust is earned, not given. People have to know that you're reliable and a person of integrity. When people know what everyone stands for, they can begin to trust each other. Trust is crucial because it enables open communication, reduces the need for constant supervision, and allows for vulnerability, which is a key to genuine teamwork and problem solving. Trust is earned. You earn it over time through dumping into that emotional bank account. You dump into that emotional bank account. The number one thing to build trust, and it also builds confidence within ourselves and with other people, is to do what you say you're going to do. That's how you build trust. That's how you pour into that emotional bank account. You simply do what you say you're going to do. And now we have this shared vision as a team. And I know my number one role in that vision is to execute my role to the absolute best of my ability. And I'm telling the people around me, my teammates, my coworkers, my peers, my family members, that, hey, this is my role. I've got it. I'm taking extreme ownership and responsibility over this role, and I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. And over time, I continually do that with consistency and success. That begins to build trust. That means people trust. And even when I fall short of the mark on some occasions, which I will, that's a withdrawal from emotional bank account that I can take because I've built up so much goodwill into that emotional bank account because I've been so reliable and so consistent with my word and with my actions that I've earned trust that when I fall a little bit short, people are like, okay, we got your back, no problem. That's how you start to build that trust. You simply do what you say you're going to do, and you earn it over time. You don't expect it. It's not handed out. You earn it by keeping the little promises you make to yourself and to the people around you, and allowing yourself to be courageous and truthful through those things, which is vulnerability. And we're earning that trust, and we're earning that trust. And then number 4, a really important part of trust and building a great team is communication. Communication, of course. Teamwork begins and ends with your ability to communicate with each other. This means sharing and receiving information, decisions, ideas, and feelings. It's important to make sure people feel heard and understood about what is expected. This prevents misunderstandings, improves collaboration, and supports effective problem solving and decision making. So on my team, I communicate the fact that we don't have rules, we don't have expectations, we have standards. And I think those 3 things are a very, very different. And as we get older in age, the standards are what the bar is. This is the bare minimum you have to achieve to be able to at least be a part of this organization, team, or group. This is the standard. We set that for ourselves so everyone knows this is what is asked of them. There is no, I don't know if this is right or no. This is what is communicated, and this is what is the standard for our team. Sometimes I feel like I want to say the expectation or the rule, but with my team, that's not how I go about my business. It's standards. And sometimes, especially with 15-year-olds, you have to remind them of what the standards are. But over time, they understand that this brings the team together because everyone has to follow these standards. There's a shared vision, and there's trust that each person will do their part to effectively reach those standards, and then the team grows because of that. And so we have to be able to communicate. We have to be able to communicate feedback. We have to be able to communicate things that are going wrong, tough things, hard conversations, right? The most psychologically stable people approach hard conversations, approach hard feelings, approach their fear, right? And that's what communication is all about. If I have to say something difficult to a player, or a player has to say something difficult to me, we have to be able to communicate. There has to be open chains of communication where that person feels like they can come to me, and I'm not going to scream or take their playing time, or whatever the case may be. I'm going to hear, I'm going to listen, and I'm going to try to embody the traits that I wish my players to portray when I'm speaking to them about something difficult, something they need to work on, or we're going to give someone another chance, or they've moved down in the lineup, or whatever the case may be. There has to be a sense of open communication, because that's how we collaborate, that's how we work together, and that's how we move towards our shared vision. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze, I think. Nope. Well, what a whirlwind. What a whirlwind. And so that's what we're thinking about with communication. And so, I mean, being in a long-term relationship now and about to be married in September, I know how important communication is. Communicate wants, needs, making that person feel heard, letting them know what I'm feeling and how I'm doing and what I need less of and more of, and then being receptive to that feedback and communication as well from my partner. And then doing that in a sports context or a family context or a business context, having that open chain of communication just allows for less misunderstandings, improved collaboration, and we're able to effectively problem solve and make decisions that are collaborative and part of the vision. And I think that's very important. Number 5, something I've talked about extensively on this podcast, something that I think is extremely powerful and important, and that's optimism. Optimism matters because it brings strength, resilience, and hope during those tough times. It brings teams together through a positive outlook towards team goals. Optimism helps teams to persevere through challenges. Optimism helps teams persevere through challenges, view setbacks as opportunities for growth, and maintain motivation and morale. Optimism is the foundation for mental toughness. It's the foundation for mental toughness, and it is the fundamental belief that things will work out for the best through the appropriate effort, attention, and focus. It's basically, optimism is summed up into this mindset: obstacles make me stronger. Optimism means that we just gave up 6 runs in the first inning, but we still fundamentally believe that things will work out for the best, that we can come back, that we can chip away, that we can't hold them right there and move up 1 inning, 1 run at a time to maybe get ourselves back into this baseball game. Optimism is huge when it comes to bringing our team together. If there's a collective idea, there's a collective mindset that everyone believes that no matter what the situation is, we're never out of it. That's a collective, optimistic mindset about the team, the players around you, and that's built on all of the other values that we discussed. That's built on communication and connection and trust and belief and the shared vision that everyone in the dugout, in the workforce, in the business, in the office, in the family believes that no matter what we get knocked down with, no matter how many times we get knocked down or we're losing a game or something bad happens, that we're never out of the fight. We're never out of the fight because we can persevere through challenges. We view these setbacks as opportunities for us to come together, for us to rise up, and for us to accept the challenge. That's what I'm talking about when I say obstacles make me stronger, and why I fully believe that optimism is the foundation for mental toughness, and every person and every team has to have optimism as one of their core values, and something that I teach my players as much as I can. Number 6, enthusiasm. This is huge for bringing teams together. Your energy is contagious. Bring energy and enthusiasm every day for what you do and how you do it. A positive energy brings eagerness and engagement. It brings people together because it drives that engagement and increases productivity. Enthusiasm can uplift an entire team's spirit and commitment during those tough days. We have to be enthusiastic and energetic. You want to be on your team the energy giver, because energy is very contagious. Whether you're an energy vampire or an energy giver, we want to be an energy giver. We want to be an energy giver. We have to be able to have a positive look. And this starts from a leadership perspective. I'm not saying that's the coach or the CEO. I'm saying, like, in part of the group of guys who are in the trenches, we need a leader in that group. I'm telling my 15-year-old kids this all the time. We need someone to step up. In these tough situations where we need to bring the energy back in, we need to lock back in, and we need to refocus on what's important now, we need someone to lead that way with simple energy and enthusiasm for the moment. Enthusiasm uplifts the entire team spirit. It doesn't have to be a coach, but 1 player, 2 players, 3 players say, this is it. We have to bring this energy right now, and it's contagious. And then there's momentum, and then there's dominoes, and other people feel that way. And now we've uplifted the positive spirit in the dugout, on the field, and now we're playing loose. We're playing with enthusiasm. We're playing with energy. We give full effort when that happens. That is the power of enthusiasm, and that is the power of energy being super contagious in both directions. Bad energy and good energy. So we have to make the conscious decision, the active choice to bring that great energy, to bring that positive outlook. And enthusiasm and energy go hand in hand with optimism. Because if you fully believe that things will work out for the best, then you're not pouting. You're not sulking. You're like, we can still do this. We can still do this. There's still time left. We can still do this. And you're bringing that positive outlook, regardless of the result ends in your way or not. You know that majority of time it will. And if you don't bring that kind of energy and enthusiasm and optimism, it definitely won't work out. And so we know that this is our best bet to make this comeback, to chip away, to grow, to build, to find our way back into the winning ground. Like, this is it. And so optimism goes hand in hand with this idea of being an energy giver and having enthusiasm and knowing that your energy is contagious. Got a little fired up for that one. So 2 more. Number 7. Respect. Number 7, respect. If you have trust and respect, positive conflict will lead to growth. Hear that again. If you have trust, I mentioned this before, but hear it again. If you have trust and respect, positive conflict will lead to growth. Respect means valuing each other's contributions, qualities, and differences. It's essential for creating positive, inclusive, and supportive environment, which improves cooperation and reduces conflict. There's got to be this foundational piece that I respect everyone that I'm around, no matter if I like them or not. Respect is different than liking. And so you have to lead with respect. You have to lead with this idea that every person you see has intrinsic value and you respect them regardless. Because if you lead with that trust and respect, then even when you get into a positive conflict or debate or an argument, it leads to more growth because you're stepping into that adversity. You're stepping into those challenges and you're saying this could lead to a greater respect, a greater trust, a greater understanding between these two people because we led with, I respect you. And I'm going to listen to you. And so that's huge. And then the last one, number 8, is gratitude. A moment of gratitude makes a difference in your attitude. It means acknowledging and appreciating each other's efforts and contributions. Celebrate the small wins and victories. It matters because it creates a culture of appreciation and strengthens teams' bonds, making team members feel more valued and motivated. It's a blessing. I tell my kids all the time when we're at the baseball field, it's an absolute privilege and an honor to be able to play baseball. It's an absolute honor. Think about that when you're in the field, like, oh man, this is a baseball field. I'm around with my friends and my buddies. At some moment, you're not going to be able to do that. At some moment, you're going to have to be able to pay money to be in a men's league to play baseball like I do now, instead of being out here just simply for the love of the game. So have some gratitude for the moments you're in, have some gratitude for the space that you're in, and have some gratitude for your teammates. And that makes a huge difference in how much you appreciate them and the efforts we're putting in and going through the trenches together. And we're building off that gratitude and we're building off that optimism and that respect and that trust and moving towards this shared vision of being the absolute best team that we can be, while every single individual person is taking on their role, executing and owning their role to the absolute best of their ability, saying, I'm taking extreme ownership over myself and my actions, doing what I say I'm going to do, but I'm moving in the direction of the collective shared vision of the team, and it aligns with the greater purpose of this we mentality over this me mentality. It's about us. It's about we. It's about creating the best culture for success as possible. And the strength of the team is each individual member. The strength of each member is the team. That's Phil Jackson quote again. I'm going to leave you with that one more time. The strength of the team is each individual member. The strength of each member is the team. That's unity. That's collective action. That's a shared vision on something that's bigger than ourselves, while taking extreme ownership over our role and executing it to the best of our ability, leading with respect, building that trust, being an energy giver, having enthusiasm for what we're doing and how we're doing it, knowing that we have an optimistic mindset. So we fundamentally believe that things will work out for the best, especially when we're around people that we trust and that we respect, and we're communicating to the best of our ability. We're earning trust. We're trying to communicate and connect as deeply as possible on a compelling vision that provides us direction, alignment, and inspiration. So those are just 8 things that can bring a team together. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any feedback, questions, or comments, or anything you want to add, or more stuff that I should read or look at when it comes to great teams, please let me know. I love looking at all that stuff. And share this with a friend. Share this with anyone who might need to hear it, because we're all part of a team and we all can bring more people together to have better teams, whether that be in business, sport, religious, community, whatever it is. So thank you so much, and I'll see y'all next time. Cheers. Thank you very much for tuning into that episode. And if you enjoyed it, click right here for another full-length episode of the podcast. And please don't forget to subscribe. But most importantly, above all else, please take good care of yourselves and others. And I'll see you next time. Lots of love. Cheers.